whose purpose was to receive the donated coins. The stupas are reminiscent of the 8 sanctuaries erected to house the ashes of the Buddha Sakyamuni. Other unexpected elements were revealed during the excavations of the Ranaghat Temple. The archaeologists were surprised by its strange structure. It seemed to be constructed around an imposing central stupa. However, other, smaller stupas were found surrounding it. 40 such stupas were found, a surprising number for a single site.
Here, ここはですね、ご覧になって分かりますようにいくつもストゥーパがありますが、もともと立ってたところの間にですね、無理やり床を作ってまだこうストゥーパを作っていると。だから本当にそのストゥーパを作るエネルギーといいますか、すごいと思うんですけどね。
Virtual imaging has made it possible to reconstruct the various stages of building this monument. To start with, a stupa was built in the center of the site. Around its circumference, other stupas of different sizes were built. Lastly, a final and gigantic stupa, 15 meters high, covered the central stupa. This was how the Ranaghat Temple obtained its considerable dimensions. Bactria owes its temples, stupas, and statues to the fervor of the Buddhist believers. However, not only was Buddhism the first major religion based on prayer in the history of humanity, it was also the cultural link underpinning the greatness and unity of the Kushan Empire. Peshawar in Pakistan, the heart of Gandhara. Kanishka administered his empire from this city, in which he had established his winter residence. It was from here that the Silk Roads left for China. Legend still has it that the king built the largest stupa in the world on a small hill above the city. A reliquary destined to receive ashes has been recently exhumed. A representation of the Buddha with a depiction of Kanishka below was found on its cover. This reliquary illustrates the close links that existed for 4 centuries between Buddhism and the Kushans, until the Huns overran the empire in 425 AD. Buddhism continued to expand beyond the barrier of the Danshan Mountains to reach China and Japan. From the 1st century AD, Buddhist monks started to travel to China using trade caravans, the only way of traveling more safely in such dangerous regions. The tales from Chinese travelers are full of comments about the violence of the Western marches in the Middle Kingdom. The Huns wreaked havoc on their travels throughout the region. Total insecurity reigned. To combat the Huns, the Han emperors mounted several military expeditions and built small forts all along the 500 kilometers bordering the Danshan Mountains. From the 2nd century AD, the massive arrival of Buddhist monks in the Middle Kingdom ensured that Buddhism became the 3rd great philosophy in China, alongside Confucianism and Taoism. Each of these 3 ways of thinking would change through its contact with the 2 others. The Karakoram Highway, the old caravan route, has always been the crossing point between the Punjab and China. With steep passes rising up to 4,000 meters, caravans from the Indus Valley would constantly travel along it. Rock paintings are found all along this road. They depict stupas and Buddhist images. They show that monks, pilgrims and artisans have passed there and reveal the spreading of Buddhism to China. Later, by sea, Buddhism would reach Japan. Nara Festival in Japan. At the Todaiji Temple, the arrival of spring is being celebrated. Sacred fires are lit to burn away impurities and abolish passion, undoubtedly revealing that the encounter between Zoroastrianism and Buddhism lives on. This is the result of a spiritual and cultural intermingling unique in the history of humanity. Buddhism started in India before metamorphosing 2,000 years ago after coming into contact with Greek thinking. It is the most beautiful and singular meeting between the East and the West.